the weight that they produced when they weighed in the past 2 hours, only significant in the sense of making sure they were inside the limit. You can see Kaya of Albania, 72.94, just inside. David Sanchez at the top of the list, 72.86. But in terms of ranking, the body weights count no more. David Sanchez here in picture, junior European bronze medalist in 2016 and 2018, as well as his 4th place 2 years ago. Sergei Petrov, 6th 2 years ago in the European Championships, but you can see a medalist of 5-6 years ago. The son of the famous Georgi Azanidze, the Olympic, world and European champion. Always difficult to live in the shadow of your dad. The defending champion, Božidar Andreev, representing Bulgaria. And for Moldova, Marin Robu. Marin, 7th in the seniors 2 years ago. For Germany, Max Lang, coming down from 81 kilos and indeed 77 kilos into today's 73 kilo category. And Kaya representing Albania. The 200, or the 2018, I should say, European champion at 69 kilos, so up into the 73s. For Poland, Piotr Kudlacik. Piotr, 69 kilo youth European silvers 5-6 years ago. For Turkey, Dania Ismailov, 7th at the European Championship weight category at 69 kilos. And completing the lineup, Batu Yüksel for Turkey, who has wavered, well, not wavered, but he's yo-yoed a little bit in terms of weight categories between 73 and 81 kilos. In terms of ages, looking at the lineup today, Azanidze, Kakiye Azanidze, only 20, the young son of the great Georgi Azanidze, famous, of course, not only for winning medals, but he was the master of the snatch, which has always been a discipline at which Georgians have generally excelled. So here we are, getting underway, first man on the stage.
I think that's the results from the B group. This is Ilya Zanuski representing Belarus, and he's gone 3 from 3 on the snatch, 141, 146, and that lift there, 150, was enough to take the lead at the halfway stage. He then went on to another 3 out of 3 on the clean and jerk, 167, 173, and this 176 for a 326 total. And this is the lead after the B group, and you know, these results will carry on into the A group. The lifters in the A group must surpass this total to go into the lead.
Good lift.
Thanks, Michaela. And 326. Well, if you look at the lowest of the entry totals in the A group final, you're looking at 332. So it's not a million miles away. If 1 or 2 falter, there, as ever, are the opening attempts in this snatch phase. Of course, we're moving on to 73 kilos. Now, the snatch standard, which is yet to be achieved, that's 159 kilos. The clean and jerk, that was achieved 2 years ago in Batumi, 192 kilos, by the defending champion, Božidar Andreev, who also set the total of 345, which you can see at the top there. And you can see Božidar, also the dominant force at under 23 in terms of records. And the Moldovan Robu at junior level, very effective. So sit back with Michaela Breeze and myself, David Goldstrom. We've had a terrific day already, haven't we, Michaela? Sarah Davis, awesome. 3 silver medals for Great Britain, the 16th nation to get medals at these European Championships, setting new British records. And, of course, the news has come through that the North Koreans are not going to participate at the Tokyo Olympics. So that potentially takes away challengers. And the
Do we have a reason?
No, I haven't read the full report. I've just heard it. But the other thing is that it's quite possible that Romania will not be allowed to participate. The International Testing Authority are about to pronounce on positive tests from Romania that might rule out Loredana Toma. Back to the present. Piotr Kudlacik to get us underway with a good snatch to get us off the platform.
And Kudlacik really executing on his opening lift. Splits very wide with the feet, wide apart, out to the sides is what I mean by that. And that's going to limit how deep he can get into the squat position. But actually, from this angle, it looks fairly deep. And that's a really good opening lift. 138, remember, 150 was the top weight from the B group, so still a way to go before we surpass that. We may find this lifter following himself as well.
Yeah, that was a good start for him, though, but immediate 3-kilo improvement on anything he'd done previously on a competition stage. So that's a good start. He will feel, I suppose relaxed is the wrong word, isn't it? But when you get the first one under your belt, Mikhailo, just gives you that little bit of confidence.
It does. David, these guys have been off the platform for so long with the COVID lockdowns across the world, and it's really nerve-wracking coming back into a competition. I've done it for different reasons, where I've retired and come out of retirement, and that time away from the competition platform is enough to, you know, put you back on edge. And I used to find the later in my career I went, the more nervous I got. So absolutely, getting the first lift in is critical. And at this point, I wouldn't say the lifters can relax, but they can certainly go for it. They've got nothing to lose now, they're in the competition.
And if you look at this competition, we've got the runner-up in the 69-kilo category from the 2016 Rio Olympic Games, the runner-up from the European Championships from 2 years ago, the runner-up from the 2019 World and European Junior Championships, the bronze medalist from the 2019 Senior IWF World Championships, the runner-up from the 69-kilo 2015 and 2016 European Championships. There's an awful lot of guys here who are achievers, but a gold medal would mean something oh so special. Now, for this man, the goals are probably beyond his grasp, but he's got his own targets. 142.
Good lift.
Well, 2 out of 2.
143, please.
You cannot ask any more of a lifter than to go out and execute successful lifts, and that's what he's doing. He's going out there, he's pushing his own boundaries, and different lifters come into this competition with different targets. Some are coming for medals, others are coming for a personal performance. Technical precision, just a little short on the extension, which is why he ran forwards, dropped the chest as he was standing. No problem staying on the platform.
David Sanchez, opener for Spain. Very straightforward for David.
Well, he's come out here on a 143 for his opener, originally posted 138, so that's a sign that everything has gone very well in the warm-up and the preparation. Let's have a look. Maintains good angle of the back, off the floor, and is super aggressive through the second phase of the lift.
David, who's 26 years of age, got a personal best of 147. So it's not a bad opener by any means for him.
Sergei Petrov, Russian Federation, first data.
So Sergei Petrov, 144 kilos. Well, we had a terrific snatch competition last evening, one of the best you and me can remember for ever and a day, really. I wonder whether we can have a similarly strong start to this one.
That's right, 30+ lifts and only 3 failures last night. That was remarkable, to say the least.
Highlights of that at the halfway break in tonight's competition, just to refresh you if you didn't see that particular competition. Host nation, Russia. Petrov, very straightforward. He's got a personal best at 153. 27 years of age, Sergei Petrov.
Georgia, first attempt.
Third in the Rome World Cup last season.
Кахьясанидзе, Грузия. Первая попытка.
Batuhan Yüksel, Turkey is next lifter.
No messing is there. They attack the bar from mid-thigh. It barely travels above waistband before they dive underneath.
Okay, I've been waiting to see this young man, 20 years of age. Well, I reckon you must remember Georgi Azanidze because he was one of the world's great exponents of this particular discipline. Olympic champion in Athens, silver in Sydney, world champion in Antalya, 3 times European champion. And this is his son, Kaki.
Well, not so bad himself, technically.
Good lift.
Подъем защита.
And you know what is so impressive? When you get a good technical lifter, is how easy they make it look. It's not easy, for goodness sakes. These weights are hard. Coming off the floor, it's tough.
Номер
But
10.
yet he achieves it with such
Batuhan
precision,
Yüksel, Turция.
accuracy and fluidity.
Первая попытка.
Well,
Can't
he's
fault
got the
it.
best. He's got the best teacher in the world. His dad. There was in his day there wasn't anybody better at this discipline.
I don't
I'm
know how
glad
I
to
would
see that he-
feel about my father coaching me. I hope he's not listening.
Okay, this is Batu Yüksel, another youngster, 21 years of age, bronze medal at the last European Junior Championships. That was back in 2019. So 135, and here we are, well over 140. So again, an instant attempt at a new personal best. But apart from the knee bandage coming undone, nothing wrong with that.
Подъем защита.
No, can I just jump in on that, David, if I may? The knee bandage. I've had ongoing discussions with 1 or 2 of my lifters about knee wraps, and I think they should. I think they're a pain in the backside, to be honest, when it comes to weightlifting competitions. You just don't have time to re-wrap them. And the argument that came back at me was, well, don't unwrap them. Well, sometimes you don't have a choice. There we are, my point made.
Первая попытка.
Max Lang, Jon Mao already has put Germany on the map for medals for Germany. And Lisa Schweitzer earlier today came mighty close to getting a bronze medal in the snatch phase of the women's 64. Max, 28 years of age, runner-up 2 years ago in the Qatar International Cup, always competitive. So, the first sign of red on the scoreboard.
David, you said he's come down a category, is that right?
Turkey, second attempt.
Max, yeah, he's come down from, well, he's been working 81 kilos and also 77. This is just about the lightest I can remember him competing at.
Yeah, and his legs demonstrate that. There's just no spark there. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope we're about to see a transition on the next lift. He looks very drawn in that. You can just see he's lost every ounce of fat. There's nothing on him. But normally when a lifter drops too much body weight, we just lose that spark and the legs are not there. He needs to find it. Normally, Max Lang is an incredible technical lifter, so come on, Max, need this second attempt.
Макс Ланг. Германия. Вторая попытка.
Chief Marshal's desk, backstage in this warm-up room. Now, as you say, this is a real test. It's a very good example there of the coaching team and their individual responsibilities. 1:33, plenty of time. He's following himself, so
Петр Кудумашек.
needs
Польша
to
готовится.
execute this. Well, I think,
trouble.
yeah, Mikhailo, what I was going to say is that, you know, when he was runner-up in Qatar, that was really his first attempt at the 73-kilo category. And that's where he set his personal best. But, of course, everything was curtailed. So he hasn't had competitions to get used to this weight category.
No, and again, there's just not the spark there. There's not the legs there. He's trying to muscle it today. He's not using the legs, the powerful muscles, the quads and the glutes. That's where the power comes from. Max is under a lot of pressure.
So 138, 142, and now Piotr, 2 good attempts, looking for yet another personal best. And just to remind you, 150, the best snatch in the B group earlier in the day by Ilya Zanuski of Belarus. So he is currently the leader in this competition.
No lift.
Well, he had to push himself on that third attempt.
45 once again. Max Lang, Germany, Sagittarius.
Didn't even slow down overhead. Very strong. Strength is irrelevant if it's not landing in the right place. Whips the shoulders back, puts a swing on the bar, doesn't even slow down and spits him out the front door. Not a bad standing long jump, mind. Plus 2 meters there.
It does indicate the fast twitch fibers, doesn't it? And the explosive power of these guys, the speed by which they move. You know, we're talking about motorway speed, aren't we? You know,
Oh, it's
70
incredible speed.
miles an hour, 120, 130 kilometers, equivalent of the explosion.
Tremendous leg power, tremendous standing vertical jumps, standing long jumps. These guys will get some air time. Right, come on, Max. Third attempt, got this, need this to stay in the competition.
Normally he'd have the audience on his side, but this is all down to him in a silent arena. Come on. Good boy.
Relief. Frustration. Disappointment, all in a split second.
Yeah, but, you know, respect. He's done it. He's come back. It's not technically what you would approve of, but he's got there. He's got a score on the board and keeps his possibility of a total alive.
It's not so much the technical problem. That was a much better, more explosive lift. It's like he left his legs back in the hotel. They managed to catch up with him in the nick of time. Good recovery from Max. He stays in the competition.
David Sanchez in picture there for Spain. Got a really good group of youngsters there. You can see the fire in the belly. 147. Second attempt for David. 4 kilo increase. So equals his personal best.
Equals
No
his
fuss,
personal
no bother.
best, and he seeks more. He has 1 attempt remaining. How much further can he go? He's in great shape.
Yeah,
Let's take a look here. Off the floor, maintains good position. Early arm bed, I'm not too keen on. If he could just sort that out, he'd be even more effective with the legs. But he's powerful, he's dynamic, and aggressive when it matters.
Yeah, came on to the stage with very clear determination about what he was about to do, and back to young Kaki Azanidze. He was fourth at the 67 kilo category in 2019, so he's moving up in weight, this 20-year-old. And what little experience he's had at this particular weight category. He went to the World Championships to Turkmenistan in 2019, finished outside the top 20, but his personal best, 140, was set in Turkmenistan. So 4 kilo increase. Very good. Better than the first. Progressive.
I am very, very impressed. Okay, you know, let's put his father aside for a second, because there's nothing worse than having your career being compared to your father. He's a lifter in his own right, and you know, this is the first time I've seen him on an international seniors platform. And am I impressed? Yes, I'm impressed. At a tender age, what is he, 20, 21? This is pretty incredible lifting.
Taki's only 20.
Wow.
Which means he's still a junior. Takes another 4 kilos, he could be very close to attacking the junior European record. Now to Turkey. So Batuhan Yüksel, same pathway as Asadnidze, 144 good, 148 one, but that may change. I have to say, I have huge respect, Michaela, for these lifters, men and women, coming back after such a long absence, with some who've had better opportunities to train than others, but nobody's had it easy.
It's been a spanner in the works in everybody's life across the world. I don't think there's anybody it hasn't affected. And it's been very difficult to deal with, and lifters from around the world have found their own way of training. Some have begged and borrowed equipment so they can train in garages, outside on patios, front rooms, bedrooms.
I just want to interrupt, Michaela. This is what I don't understand. They should not be sharing that magnesium pot.
No, they should have their own chalk tub from their coaches. There's certain regulations and rules that have been put in place that are not being followed. But
no.
Then why would you put a chalk tub up there if the regulations are that it's not there to be used? Don't put it there.
No, exactly. Well, my understanding was that it would be removed from the stage, and they would have personal magnesium bins in their warm-up areas, and they would have, like, you know, mountaineer climbers, you know, pocket magnesium pockets, which the coach would carry for them.
Ooh, doesn't look comfortable there. Now, interesting, on the previous attempt, the bar came down on him quite heavy. I would like to see the previous attempt to show you what I'm talking about, but the previous one he landed and it caught him hard. Here, that elbow, if it's sore, was almost certainly made or damaged on the previous lift, not that one.
Sergei Petrov, he's been waiting a while, and this 149 for Petrov is a 5 kilo increase. So far, so good. Still the man from the B group. In charge at the moment, Zhanovsky from Belarus with 150 kilos. Explosive, and Petrov gets as close as anyone at the moment. 149 kilos correctly lifted.
Just see the aggression there and the exertion. That's the aggression and exertion that we should be implying, and you can just see, you know, the roar as he stands up. It's a moment of, yes, I've got it, yes, I'm in control. I'm going to try that with my lifters next session. The rule is everybody's got to make that noise when they land.
Look how quickly David Sanchez is out. He really is on fire.
I missed it. I'm not going to lie, I missed it. It's all yours, David. I'll do the replay, but I missed it. I turned to the scoreboard for a second.
Well,
here we go.
149. I mean, he's been dynamite tonight. I mean, that's a 2 kilo personal best, 3 out of 3. Well done, David.
I must not watch the scoreboard. That was impressive.
Yeah. And you can see that little tattooed symbol of the Olympic rings. That's in his mind every single waking hour.
Too right it is. It's a pretty special moment. I've had one done myself. I always said I'd never get a tattoo. I said I'd get a tattoo if I went to the Olympics. And only recently did I actually commit to it.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
What was it that inspired you first? What caught you? What got you into you know, weightlifting?
I wasn't weightlifting. I wanted to go to Olympic Games from the age of 9. I watched Adrian Morehouse win Olympic gold in the men's breaststroke in the Seoul 88 Olympics, and I ran into the kitchen and I said to my dad, "Dad, I'm going to an Olympics." And he laughed at me. And it was only later when I was given an opportunity in a PE lesson to do weightlifting. I never thought then that it was going to take me all the way, but it provided an opportunity. So I encourage any youngsters out there watching this to take whatever opportunities are thrown at you. Give your best to everything you do. You never know what you might be good at.
Opener here for Maran Robu of Moldova, 21 years of age. And that's a good start from Maran. And that's over 150 kilos, so he is now the leader of the snatch. He's overtaken the man in the B group, and 151 gets him underway. He is an improver.
Wide feet in that receiving position, doesn't matter, that's what suits him. That's where he feels most comfortable, but look at that, no movement whatsoever with the bar overhead.
He holds the junior European record, by the way, does Robu, set in Rome last year, just before lockdown, at 152 kilos. So he's very close on that opener at 151. Now, back to Azanidze, looking for 3 out of 3. And this is a 3-kilo increase.
Oh,
That's a pity.
it is a pity. Nonetheless, I'm very, very impressed with the way that he moves. It's so smooth and efficient. And these kind of weights, you've got to be absolutely spot on, and that wasn't spot on enough. But still, at such a young age, just 20 years of age, you can see there the bar still floating upwards as he drops under. Very, very good technically. Shame he couldn't execute.
Yeah, 2 years ago, very close to getting a first medal. It would have been a European junior bronze. In the end, he ended up in 4th place in 67 kilos. So, you know, this is very much part of his education. So, just to remind you, Božidar Andreev, the defending champion, opening weight up to 152. Brikankaya, Albania, 152. Dania Ismailov of Turkey, 155. There you have them on the left of your screen. So 151, Maran Robu at the moment, the leading weight. Bar at 152. Arms almost at the extremity of the bar here. Lot of power. So the defending champion, good lift to start with.
A good lift, that was unbelievable. That really was explosive. Total precision from start to finish. Keeps the chest very high throughout. So fast underneath the bar.
Representing Bulgaria, who still head the medal table with 7 golds, 3 bronze and 2 silver. 16 countries already with medals. This is only day 4 of 9 of the championships. 36 countries entered, 16 already with medals. It's looking healthy. So, to Albania, to Brikankaya. Also looking for the lead, but of course, Andreev first to 152 kilos. So this man goes into the silver medal position. Bricken, already a European champion at 69 kilo weight category, but that was 3 years ago in Bucharest.
And when did he serve his suspension? Again, disappointing to have another lifter in an A group with a reputation.
Well, since you asked, 2013 to 2015, it was a 2-year suspension.
And then came back and was champion.
Well, he came back a few years later to win that title, yes. Not immediately. And it was... Yeah, 2013 is disqualification. Now, Sergei Petrov, Russia. They haven't been prolific in getting gold medals yet, but the heavier the weights, the more likely they are to be effective. And Sergei, 144, 149. 2 good starts from him. .153, his personal best in this discipline. Oh, that was not a million miles away.
No, and he did the right thing. I'd encourage lifters to land and stand. Hit the bottom, get out of the hole, because if that bar is slightly forward, you've at least got a chance of getting back underneath it. Just couldn't quite save it. A couple of steps forward, he may have been in luck. I think the bar just pulled him forwards off the floor, but this is not the right angle to give that kind of feedback.
9 lifts to go in this first half of the 73 kilo championship of Europe. Still in the wings, Dania Ismailov of Turkey. He's put the opening weight for him to appear at 155, which, the way we're going, it could be planning to let everybody lift out. I don't think that's going to quite happen. Bar at 155. First attempt. Well, that was pretty straightforward.
Agree.
Olympic silver medalist at 69 kilos in the Rio Olympic Games, so has moved up to this weight category.
155 килограммов вес штанги.
Goes up, Albania.
Turkey with the lead at 155.
What impresses me the most in these competitions is just the speed at which the lifters are transitioning from that fully extended position to under the bar. Nobody's trying to hang on to it and get the bar higher. They're exploding and dropping. Think about that when you're doing your training. What are you doing? Are you hanging on to the bar at the top, trying to lift it higher with a shrug and pull? Or are you kicking and catching? Speed is the key.
156 kilograms on the bar, please.
Bar up a kilo to 156. I wonder whether this man is going to be the dark horse of the competition, so to speak. Marin Robu. Only 21.
Interested to see how this guy's technique holds out now as the weight goes up. The first one was smooth. I got a feeling we're going to see a bit of yanking going on as the weight gets heavier. Let's hope not, because if he can continue to use the legs the way he is doing, he could well be the dark horse.
156. So extra 5 kilos on the bar for this second attempt. Well, he's going to get 3 white lights for that.
With the feet that wide, he's putting the knees and the hips under a lot of strain. It is his style of lifting and it works for him. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah, look at that position. At such a young age, you do not want to be collapsing inwards with the knee. You risk.
Турция готовится.
I mean, goodness, I've had a bad injury doing something similar, but mine was an accident, not a consistently bad movement. But I popped rec fem off the bone. Needs to be very careful.
He looks very cool, doesn't he, the defending champion? He has a sort of presence about the way he just sort of marches up and down the stage. I'm the champ. I'm the man. Well, time will tell. Lifted 153 kilos on his way to the championship a couple of years ago.
No lift.
Подъем неудачный.
Just will encourage one or two others, because that's limited his progress.
It is 156. The first attempt looked very, very good. Just dropped his chest as he came off the floor. Fractions now, that's all we're looking at. Millimetre perfect is where it needs to be.
Everybody's engaged. Lifts running out. Crucial judgments to be made. Kaya, Albania in picture. So Andreev will, looks to me as if he's going to let the bar go up in weight and may well let Bricken come out at 157. But it's changing all the time at the moment. So this is the Albanian. So Andreev has decided to bide his time. Well, we don't want to see that picture. I want to see Kaya on the stage. Here we go, 157. So this for the overall lead. Remember, it's the Moldovan leading with 156 at the moment. So this is just the required kilo to put this man into the lead.
Wrong caption, wrong lifter.
Oh, it is.
Bricken Kayan, Albania, no lift.
Yeah. Well, that isn't Robu.
No.
That's the Albanian. You can see from the Albanian eagle on his competition suit.
Was that 157, wasn't it? 157 has gone to ground.
Yeah, 157. So, you know, it's still Robu who's leading the competition. Apologies for that mistake. And here's Andreev now. Well, he's had a bit more time to A, recover, B, think.
It's not always a good thing in this game. Sometimes thinking can cause issues. Just get on the bar and lift it. Now is the time to put all that practice into performance.
Robu's got one left, and Dani Ismailov of Turkey's got two left. Andreev, he's just got the one, the defending champion now, so he really needs to make this now. He is a man with a strong clean and jerk. His opening clean and jerk is posted at 185, and there's only one other man who's at that level, and that's Bricken Kaya. But that's on paper, which may not be reality, but clean and jerk is his stronger suit. But he needs this. He needs to stay in touch. And he's left with 152. Big problem, Michaela.
Yeah, big problem. He certainly would have expected and wanted more than that. 152, I don't think he's going to be good enough. Whether it's enough to stay in contention, just looking at the clean and jerk weight, he does have a big clean and jerk, so has the potential to bring it back and recover, but he's not going to be a happy chappy.
Well, that 185 with his opening clean and jerk, effectively he's lost 8 kilos of that, so that brings him back to the rest of the field. So now Kaya. Remember, he had a failure at 157. They're all trying to overtake Robu. And Ismailov just biding his time, the Turk. So one by one, they're beginning to fall by the wayside. Marin Robu with 156 still leads the way, and it's all down to him. So Moldova versus Turkey.
Maybe the right moment here just to expand on what we said about North Korea not going to the Olympic Games later this year. The reason apparently for not going to Tokyo is coronavirus related, according to their announcement.
Well, it could be anything from the North Koreans, couldn't it? I mean,
well, that's according to their announcement. So,
yeah,
David, let's not speculate anything else. That's what we've got to go on. Looks like with Colombia, Romania set to have a suspension as well. Sarah Davis might well be in contention for a medal come Tokyo. This could be a very interesting summer ahead.
Yeah, and here's a thought for you. Well, I'm going to do this at halfway because let's concentrate on this in front of us now. Daniyar Ismailov for Turkey. Now, he's been waiting for 158. Of course, 158 would put him straight into the lead. This would be a new personal best by a kilo. So, presumably feeling confident.
He's okay,
Little
needs to stand still.
Yeah. But that's okay, the feet were in line, he was in control when the bar was put down and he got the buzzer. 158, he has one more attempt to go, and he goes ahead of the Moldovan Robo, who has one more attempt left himself.
Talk about calm and collected, look at this. Never panicked, body's out of control, his mind is totally focused. So long as his feet are in line, it doesn't matter which way he's facing. Solid as a rock overhead. You could see the body trembling, but still under control.
Turkey fourth in the medal table, but who knows, might move up now. Robu 159. He's doing what he has to do, which is to get that extra kilo ahead of Ismailov. This is a 3 kilo increase for Robu. New territory. This will be a 7 kilo personal best if he pulls it off. We're concerned about the second attempt.
159 kilograms. Once again, Daniyar Ismailov, Turkey.
So,
well, the one that got away, he may live to regret that. You know, still young in years, that's the yank there, just not enough legs, more of an upper body movement as the weight has got heavier.
This is also attack for new European senior record in snatch. Now this is 159.
160 килограммов просит установить Данияр Исмаилов.
the bar at 160 kilos for Ismailov of Turkey. He's won the gold medal, and what he's trying to do is to give himself a little cushion of advantage, because Robu, with that failure, is on 156. He's already the Turk in picture, 2 kilos ahead. So he wants to move further ahead. So 160 for Daniyar, the Olympic silver medalist from Rio, at 69 kilos, a 3 kilo personal best if he pulls this off. Odds in his favor, given what we've seen, Michaela.
Needs to find a little bit more explosion with those legs. The last one wasn't perfect, but it was good. This one, to extend his lead, and he's going to need it. There are lifters, there's a couple of lifters with a heavier clean and jerk posted as their opener, so this is important for him.
Yeah, he's on paper at least quite a way down. Now, something was distracting him there. So he's won the gold. This to increase the advantage over the field. 160, third and final attempt. Is this 3 out of 3? I think it is.
Yes, it is. No,
Helicopters again, needs to stand still. And that is it. 3 out of 3. He joins David Sanchez of Spain, who also got 3 out of 3, but not quite so many kilos on the bar. And Turkey in command at the halfway stage. So a really good little sequence, but as you rightly said, he's only posted an opener in the clean and jerk of 180.
He's got some issues there with the helicoptering. That bar picks up speed, he's in trouble, but he's managed to steady it twice now. I don't think he'll care how it got there, as long as it is there, and that's 3 from 3. Consistency equals gold medal.
Turks at the moment, as I mentioned a moment ago, 4th in the medal table coming into tonight's competition. Well, that's their 3rd gold medal, puts them up into 3rd overall in the medal table at the moment. Maran Robu of Moldova takes the silver, and the defending champion, disappointing, only 1 out of 3, Božidar Andreev of Bulgaria, the bronze. There it is, the Gymnastics Palace. These are the opening proposed weights for the clean and jerk, some 13 kilos between the least and the greatest. Just a quick thought, Mikhaila, I was just thinking on that North Korea thing. They've got a female super heavyweight who, according to their withdrawal, would take her out, and that would increase Emily Campbell's chances of a medal at the Olympics if she gets there in the women's super heavyweights.
It certainly would, and at the moment I think Emily Campbell is fairly safe with her position for Tokyo, from what I understand. At the moment we're still not 100% sure on qualification, but yeah, you're quite right.
Sergei Petrov to get us underway here, 171 kilos for the Russian. Don't often see Russians starting this early, do you, Mikhaila?
Well, it's quite nice that they're back on a more level playing field.
Well, that's strong enough overhead.
Good lift. 172 kilograms, please.
So just a reminder that the best B group total, 326 kilos from Ilya Januski of Belarus.
Вес готов. Кахи Астанидзе. Грузия. Первая попытка. Батухан Юксом готовится.
So Azanidze. Stepping stones on his career, moving up to this weight category for these championships. 2 out of 3, down in 8th place on 148 kilos. Leaves him 12 off the lead, but first phase very nice, second phase strong, no problem. Good opener.
Yeah, really impressed by this young man. He's really coming into his own here. And you know, he's got the technique behind him, that's clear. He's clearly spent many years developing that. That's not something you learn overnight. More importantly, he's executing on the top weights. That was interesting. The bar was momentarily weightless as he dropped underneath. I'd like to see that front foot a tiny bit further forward, but with the technical precision and such a young age, he can only get stronger.
Yeah, exciting prospect.
In terms of stature of these lifters, just look at the size of the legs. We've got tree trunks for legs, a solid backside. Don't need muscle in the upper body. That's just there to stabilise the joints. The big muscles down below is where we need the strength and power.
So just to emphasize, at the moment, Ilya Zanuski of Belarus, clean and jerk of 176, total of 326 in the lead. And that was not very good. That was pushed out in front, hips behind. Not a good start by Batu Yüksel.
Looked to me to be quite rushed. Clean was very explosive. I use the cue jump a lot when I'm coaching. There we go. I don't mean to take airtime. I don't want you lifting and slamming your feet, but that's just an illustration that these lifters do literally leave the ground. They need to be able to move their feet. The jerk pushed himself away from it, left him behind the bar, and he finds himself in a spot of bother, missing his first.
There, and he finds himself in a situation where nobody else wants this particular weight, so he's going to have to follow himself. Emily Godley of Great Britain in action tomorrow, 3 o'clock UK time. Hopes for her. She'll be inspired by Sarah Davis's performance today. She's in the 71 kilo category.
Yeah, she will. There's a lot of lifters entered at the women's 71. She's got a 220 posted as a total. There's one lifter with a heavier total, although they don't mean a huge amount. It just gives us some indication that she's there or thereabouts in that group. And I know her preparation for these championships has been hampered. It's not been a smooth, plain sailing run into it. But let's hope that she can pull something out of the bag tomorrow. And we wish Emily Godley all the best for her championship.
Yeah, sleep well and wake strong. I'm still worried about that chalk bin, you know. It just shouldn't be there. It's the most basic of things to get right in the world in which we're living. So, come on. Let's get on the side of Batu Yüksel now. Second attempt.
Oh dear. Well, this is a lifter. I'm gonna say this as I see it, as I normally do.
Yeah.
He doesn't look fit enough. He's struggling to recover there. I mean, he's blowing, still coming onto the platform after 2 minutes. Now, if you're a lifter, wear a heart rate monitor when you're training, and you'll see your heart rate skyrise. He was on balance there. He just didn't have the strength to stand. Now, wear a heart rate monitor, your heart rate goes sky high on a maximum attempt, but it comes down pretty quickly. This is a sign to me of a lifter that maybe takes a little too long in between sets when training. That's a judgment I'm making. I don't know this guy at all, but you can see him now. Look, he's blowing, legs are out, struggling to recover.
Well, he needs to take all of the he needs to take all of the 2 minutes that's available to him, because this is going to be a mighty challenge. He's not got much petrol in the tank, as you say. He may not be up to this in terms of physical fitness, and if he doesn't get this, he will go home without a total. And at the moment, only 1 out of 5 lifts made. So I always get on the side of the lifter, Michaela, when this happens, because it's in our nature that we want people to succeed.
100%, but he's blowing. You know, he's not recovered here. He's still blowing quite hard. And when you're in training and you're still blowing, you think, oh, it's okay, I'll take another 30 seconds. It's okay, it doesn't matter if it's a bit longer. It does matter. It matters that you're fit, specific for what you're about to do on the platform, and I'm questioning it. I hope he can get this.
Well, he's got the clean. Well, yeah, well done. Arms out, distance shortened. But you could see there that bar going in front, and he's left it behind, and the central referee has breathed a sigh of relief. So the total is lost, I'm afraid.
Well,
if my reasoning is correct, there's a lesson for all the lifters out there who compete. Not too long recovery between sets in training. Lifting specific fitness is important.
174 килограмма установлено. Номер 8 Петр Курмашев, Польша. Первая попытка.
Sergey Petrov, please prepare.
Сергей Петров готовится.
I mentioned at the beginning,
Первая попытка.
Mikhailo, that this is a guy who has been competing at 81 kilos as well as 73. Maybe he doesn't quite know yet where he should be. But this man does. Look at the purposeful march onto the stage from Piotr Kudlachik of Poland.
Mocne podbicie na łukę. Wstajesz! Nogą! Stój, stopy!
Well, he was way down the order at the halfway stage in 11th place. He only brought 142 kilos forward.
Sergey Petrov, Russian.
But having said that, that was a 7-kilo personal best in the snatch phase.
174 килограмма, номер 2, Сергей Петров.
The movement on the bar there before the
Российская
jerk, that was
Федерация.
natural oscillation, not deliberate, so he's okay.
Макс Ланг готовится.
Really
this
solid
is-
overhead, bar straight to arm's length, no messing at all.
2 kilos to the good for him in terms of his first opening clean and jerk. Petrov, Russia, back on the stage.
Стой! Не спеши, Сережа. Держать, Сережа.
Подъем защита.
Good lift, 175, please.
175 вес штанги.
Still 7 kilos away from a personal best.
Lifter to follow,
So
Sergey
that's an
Petrov,
indication that
Russian
he's
race.
not finally tuned for this competition.
Where do Russia stand with the next games, with Tokyo? Are they in? Are they still bound? What's the...
One woman, one man, only.
That seems fair to me. Same with China? Am I making that up? I'm sure my go-to Dan Kent will advise me shortly.
Max Lang, Germany, 175. This will be more his cup of tea.
Langschieben. Jawohl, super.
They've always
Good lift.
been proud of their performances in clean and jerk, German athletes, haven't they? This is where they generally excel.
Max Lang, Germany,
And the
second
words
attempt.
from the sideline, super.
Chances,
Yes,
chances, please
absolutely brilliant. Brilliant technical lifting from Max Lang on the clean and jerk.
176 килограммов, номер 6, Макс Ланг. Вторая попытка.
Back knee a little more bent, hips behind the bar more than I would want, but the body was lovely and straight. Okay, so here we go. Thank you, Dan Kent, for this update. Russia, likely no Russians at the Tokyo Olympics. They would have to compete as neutrals, as Russia is banned by the IOC. Interesting. Thank you, Dan, for that information.
Oh, that's a definite. We've had that all through the winter season where they've not been able to compete in the World Championships in a lot of winter sports under the RUS. They've been, for example, the Russian Ski Federation, RSF, and it'll be something like that. It'll be under a neutral banner in Tokyo. Quite right.
Макс Ланг готовится.
Doubt any of the lifters can claim to have trained under external testing to qualify as neutral, so the chances are we're not going to see any of these lifters from Russia in Tokyo.
So already a silver medal from the first part of the competition, brings forward 156 kilos.
Tatian, nu te grăbi.
Good lift.
Подъем засчитан.
178, please.
He's progressive as well.
He is. There's a
Talked
lot
about
of movement.
Yeah, he talked about Azanidze, but Robu is as well.
He is. He's not as good technically, though. He's very loose. I say loose under the bar. There's a lot of movement underneath the bar. That's what I don't want to see, particularly from a young lifter. I want them to have full control, good core strength, a little bit wibbly wobbly. That will come with age. He'll develop and mature into that.
Good lift.
Подъем засчитан.
178.
David, may I also clarify the situation with China? Their doping violations are old enough that they've already faced their sanctions and they will be entitled to send a full team to the Tokyo Games.
Sergei Petrov started.
As if they weren't strong enough already.
Yeah.
Давид Санчес готовится.
The reality of China is that they could send their third or fourth best team and still be challenging for golds.
Unfortunately for Sarah Davis, she's going to be up against Deng Wei of China, the legendary lifter.
It's all about what happens on the day, though, not what's happened in history.
True.
No.
Petrov in trouble. He's not really looked competitive at any stage of this competition.
179 ассистент.
Sixth in the Europeans 2 years ago.
Yeah, good technically, just doesn't have the legs today to get back up with that.
He's ended up on exactly the same number of kilos as he did 2 years ago. So, if you look at it in that regard, no progress. Now, David Sanchez, he performed brilliantly. Something of a whirlwind in the first half of the competition. 3 out of 3. If you blinked, you missed him, which is
I did.
what almost happened with the what almost happened with the director as well.
Первая попытка.
But he's really prepared for this. You can see how positive he is. Mind and body together.
Derecho, ahora, David, derecho. Sigue. Aprieta, aguanta.
No. Oh, it's
No.
Vamos.
No.
Неудачный подъем.
Vamos,
Was
vamos,
that-
vamos. Come on. That's the words from the coach.
Yeah. A little rush,
Oh,
maybe.
100%. I would say rush. It's his style. As you know, I missed his last snatch because he came out so quickly. But that oscillation is fine. He had it there, soft elbows. He needs to be stable under the bar. So my advice is take your time before the jerk.
Номер 8.
He'll get that, I'm sure. It looks tight in the chest, to be honest.
He's got, even now, he's got a presence, hasn't he? Young Azanidze.
Entra Uli, back at me. Nela, Shula, Nela.
Good lift.
Подъем засчитан.
This is good work by him.
Piotr Kudłaszek, Poland.
And that's a 7-kilo increase. That's a big step forward for him.
Номер 8.
Some tremendous
Петр
progression.
Кудłaszek, Польша. Вторая попытка.
Just having a look. His previous best, 167. He is moving up
Good lift.
weight categories. He is young, so advances can be made speedily. Piotr, Poland. Not contesting for the medals, but he's looking as if he's pretty clear about what he wants to do.
Spokojnie, najwyższe.
No lift.
удачный подъем.
The same weight, also second attempt. Max Lang, Germany.
Not the start he would have wanted, that's for sure.
David Sanchez, please prepare.
Let's take a look here, a bit tight in the shoulders off the floor. The clean is still strong. Trying to muscle it overhead with the arms and the shoulders. It needs to be more from the legs. David, I'm sure, is Kaki Azanidze, is his father not coaching him here? I'm sure that was his father that was with him.
To be honest, I haven't taken that into account. I'll have another look, a close look in a moment, but this is David Sanchez out in double quick time.
Oh, cameraman not ready. Right,
no,
good
well,
clean.
the director should be learning.
There we
That's
go.
better. Yeah, that's okay. But a life lost and a life wasted. He was 3 out of 3 before he started. But he's got a total now.
So this time takes his time before the jerk, really drives to arm's length. Keeps everything much, much straighter. This time the bar over the shoulders, well done. Frustration at the miss on the first attempt, but it's history, you cannot change it. What you can do is focus on the lifts still to come.
Номер 9. Данияш Исмаилов, Турция. Первая попытка.
There's the man with the big red beard, David Koch, the coach there with Max Lang. So just at the moment, it's Maran Robu of Moldova out in the lead. Overall, 333. David Sanchez up into silver overall, 328. Kaki Azanidze, 327. Max Lang going for a 5-kilo increase. This is 180 to go into first place in the clean and jerk. Moving closer to the overall medals. On his personal best mark. Second attempt.
Lang schieben, Spannung.
Good fight.
Very good fight. He's having to bring his A game now and dig super, super deep to find the extra kilos. He lacked on the snatch. He's making up for it now in the second phase of the competition.
Still 3 men, though, to start. Ismailov, who won the gold in the snatch half. The defending champion, Bozidar Andreev and Brikankaya of Bulgaria and Albania, respectively, yet to start their campaigns. Great beard, isn't it?
If you like that kind of thing.
Oh, I mean, it looks really smart, it's well groomed, well prepared.
Sounds like a bit of jealousy there, David.
I've never been a man to have a beard, I'm afraid. It's not for me. So, Ismailov at 181. And of course, just remembering that he had 160, so he has an 8-kilo advantage over the defending champion Andreev, and Robu, who got the silver, he had a 4-kilo advantage. So this will put him back in command.
Okay, that's an ugly jerk. But it went up, and that's all that matters. The numbers are on the table.
Yeah, the job's done, 181, and re-establishes himself in command of the competition.
All right, let's have a look here. The clean is good, stands strong, wastes absolutely no time. and he goes straight into the jerk.
Вес тот же.
It's really not a helpful camera angle. Back foot pointing out to the side, seriously risking knee injury.
Номер 4. Божидар Андреев, Болгария. Первая попытка.
Well, Andreev, he's given away a lot of advantage. Incidentally, he originally posted 185 as his opener for the clean and jerk, and that's come down now to 182. So the signs were there in the first half. Can he catch up? Well, very powerful overhead.
Прошлогодний чемпион Европы.
So that clearly indicates there's more to come.
Уверенно справляется с
He has a
Does, I
personal best
still
of
sense the-
191.
Still sense the frustration though, he's still shaking his head, not happy with his performance. Needs to put the snatching behind him and really focus on what is about to come. Very, very strong in the legs, that is without doubt. Wastes no time between clean and jerk. Got to be careful not to rush it.
182 килограмма.
Andreev at the moment, 8 kilos behind Ismailov. So Asanidze at the moment in 5th place, going for 182 to move him up in the clean and jerk to the, what would be the, just having a look at this, would it be the silver medal
330.
position? It would, yeah. It would be the silver medal position in the clean and jerk.
He's in pain.
Подъем неудачный.
Well, he's set some new standards for himself, and
Yeah, I'm sure that's his father in the red and white jacket.
Номер 8. Петр Кудумашек, Польша. Третья попытка.
I don't know if that's a
Вес
knee
штанги
injury or a touch of cramp on the
182.
right side. But he's certainly in some discomfort there.
Савия
He's gone
Албания
for the knee.
готовится.
so back to Poland.
Oh, he's
Oh,
gone
too
dizzy.
close
He's
to the
okay.
windpipe. Yeah.
Yeah, he's all right.
Неудачный подъем.
Just undo that belt, get some oxygen in.
183, please.
So it's rather petered out there for Piotr Kudlachik. He's ended up on 316 kilos. That's 16 short of his entry total, so inevitably some disappointment. You can see how close that is to the windpipe. This will show you even closer. You can see the pressure on it.
Yeah, he never
Suddenly-
really adjusted the bar very well off his shoulders. Ideally, when you stand out of a clean, you would adjust it, adjust the hand positioning, get it off the windpipe, but the clean was tough.
Now, only one good lift from this man, the Albanian Brikankaya, in the first effort, 152 kilos. So the task for him, the same as Andreev. Big ask to close the gap on Ismailov at the moment. But that was comfortable. And, oh. Well, that was lost when it could have been won.
The same weight, 183, second turn.
I'd like to see the replay. I think you're going to see a narrow split Hips behind the bar, arching the lower back. I'd like to see the jerk from the side.
183 килограмма вес штанги.
And the hips are too far behind the bar. You've got nothing underneath it to support it.
Silver medalist 2 years ago, but not sure about that now. That's Bricken, and just looking at his record, he doesn't have a high percentage of good lifts in the work that he does. I mean, it's barely 50%.
And there's a reason for that, and it's the way he moves. If you're not technically precise, you can't expect to be consistent either.
So Marin Robu pushed down now to overall third. This, though, a 6 kilo increase to take him from 333 to 336, which would move him overall into the silver medal position and into the lead in the clean and jerk.
Oh dear me. That's not too tidy. Don't know why he held on to that as long as he did. As soon as it starts to go, you may as well put it down, because you're not allowed to adjust the bar on your shoulders. That to me is a sign of inexperience. You're only going to hurt yourself hanging onto a bar coming down your shoulders. Ooh, what a mess.
183, David Sanchez, Spain, Sagittaire.
Do not try this at home. You're going to break a wrist doing that.
Well, I think it's David Sanchez to come out. Yes, it is. So everybody pay attention, because he's pretty quick at everything he does here. 4 kilo increase, trying to go to 332 kilos. That will be a 2 kilo best ever total. He doesn't mess about. And he delivers as well. Well done, David Sanchez. Good finish. Last lift.
And once again, the weight,
And great recovery from David. That first miss could prove costly in terms of his potential in the competition, but still able to come out with a new best. That's some pretty awesome effort.
Yeah, also puts him into first place in the clean and jerk at this moment in time.
Yeah, there's not a huge number of lifters left in the competition, so he will go back to the warm-up room now and sit and wait, bide his time, and just keep an eye on what everybody else is doing in the hope that there's a few misses to follow.
Yeah, and it could be. I mean, here comes Robu. It was all a bit of a mess, that second attempt.
I think the coach is saying something along the lines of, get your elbows up.
That's better. Not easy, though. And that's a really good recovery. Well done, Mara.
Fair play. That was a tremendous effort after that shocking second attempt. He really came out and pulled his A game. And not only that, was under a bit of pressure with the clock. The last shout from the coach was to say, go, or 2 seconds. There was literally 2 seconds when the coach shouted, a second when he took the bar off the platform. Only just started the lift in the nick of time.
Well, that lift has really kept him in there. Silver in the snatch. He's at the moment silver position in the clean and jerk and silver in the overall. David Sanchez leading the clean and jerk, but as you said, Michaela, all he can do is sit back, watch the TV screen and see who wins and who fails. And so Bricken Kaya yet to get a total. Bar up to 184. And that's another man recovering.
Good lift.
But he's coming from a long way back.
185 kilograms, please.
Missed the 183, went up a kilo. That was more to buy him some time to recover. It was a good recovery, technically pretty good. Say, you know, I criticised him technically and the lack of consistency. He's better on the clean and jerk than the snatch. The clean was
only
very,
2 out
very
of 5,
strong.
though. It's only 2 out of 5. 336 is running total, takes him up into the overall bronze medal position. Overtakes David Sanchez in terms of the clean and jerk. So he's got one more life left. And Ismailov with 2 attempts remaining. The defending champion Andreev with 2 left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attempts left in this championship at 73 kilos. So this is the current leader, Dania Ismailov. At the moment, he's 2 kilos ahead of Maran Robu, who has finished his lifting for Moldova. So he's looking to frighten off Kaya of Albania and Andreev of Bulgaria. Well, there was a lot of rushing and a lot of shouting there.
It's an absolute mess, that jerk. I don't think there's any other way of saying that. I mean, you tell me a coach that coaches those positions, that is, yeah, not pretty. So if you're watching back home, emulate the clean, but not this position, please. You're going to bust your knee, you're going to strain your hip, you're going to hurt your ankle as well. I don't know what he's trying to achieve there, but that is not going to happen.
Well, I think he should have stayed in control of his destiny there. Maybe responding too much to what the coaches were shouting at him. He does have one more attempt, so he's still looking in pole position to win this title, but nothing is ever certain. Now, Max Lang, another 5 kilo increase here. So looking for clean and jerk on us. Jean-Luc Mao, who has achieved Germany's one and only gold medal so far, their only medal, in fact, but Max could add to that if he can pick this up. And he has picked it up. Finish. And he has finished. And that's terrific. 3 clean and jerks. And Max goes into the lead in the clean and jerk.
That is a fantastic effort from Max, and a tremendous recovery from the disappointment of the snatch. Came out here on fire, wanted this lift, gave it absolutely everything. The clean was good. There's more there in the legs. Very, very strong standing. Jerk, such a straight body position underneath the bar. Everything nice and safe, shoulders and back, no risk of injury, or limited risk of injury for sure.
There's only 3 other guys alive now. Ismailov, but he failed at 185. That was a mess, but of course the important thing is that Max has got to 185 first, isn't it, Michaela?
Yeah,
So
even if successful, this won't go ahead of Max on the clean and jerk. Max is out of it on the overall total, but he's there in pole position on the jerk.
So effectively, if Ismailov was to fail, Max is definitely going to get a medal. Not sure what color. But Ismailov needs this just to make sure he doesn't lose the championship. That's better. Max Lang has got a medal.
It's a tremendous effort from Max Lang and Germany as a team. He'll be very happy to be going home with something. And Danya Ismailov of Turkey, well, to say he needs to go back to basics on the jerk is an understatement. That jerk was far from impressive. Snatching very, very good. Cleans very, very strong, but there's one element of the lift that is too weak. And that is going to be very, very costly. He has to wait and see now what everybody else can do.
So Andreev now, he's got 2 attempts. Now, at the moment, he is sitting 7 kilos down. Now, what's he got on the bar here? 188? So this would take him up to 340.
Yeah, 88.
So this would take him to 340. So this would take him into the lead in the clean and jerk, obviously, but into silver in the overall, but still with 1 attempt to come.
Big left this, big increase.
191 is his personal best. Well, he's got a big dilemma now.
Yeah, and you know what's this was a risky business here. He's got one thing in mind, and that is gold, because he didn't need to go for this weight. He could have gone slightly less. I think it was 185, which would have put him into a medal position, bronze medal. He wasn't content with bronze, and he tried to push it straight to silver on this attempt in the hope that his third lift would give him a chance at gold. Now he's vulnerable. He's still out of the medals.
So Max Lang in the clean and jerk is in gold. Brickenkaya is in silver. David Sanchez, believe it or not, is still in bronze. So 3 attempts, and if they all go down the drain, Max will win the gold, and Sanchez could end up with the bronze. Who knows?
2 attempts left, I think.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Brickenkaya now. And he's only made 2 out of 5. Odds against.
No, he's gone.
Oh. You could tell, couldn't you? Just started to see the whole body, and Max Lang just can't stop smiling.
The same weight, 180.
Only one person can deny him a gold on the clean and jerk. Shame about the snatch, Max.
Yeah.
Regardless, if he can't finish any worse than silver, this is just watch here. The body started to quiver. He's gone dizzy.
So if Andreev fails his final attempt, David Sanchez is going to get a bronze in the clean and jerk. How about that? Wouldn't that be good for him and Spain?
It is, and you know what, I mean, Spain, Germany, clean nations. That's all I need to say. Clean nations, and it's wonderful to see them hopefully getting medals. We've got 1 lift here which may deny them both, or may deny Max gold, and may keep David Sanchez off the podium. Let's wait and see.
On the evidence of what we saw, particularly in the first half of the competition, the defending champion has looked unlikely to keep the title, but cometh the hour. Is he the champion of 2 years ago? Can he pull it out of the fire? How much is left in the tank?
This for a medal.
Not sure. Still not sure. But can he stand still? Is he in the control? He's not there. He's not there, and the bar's not on the platform. And the title has gone. And congratulations to Max Lang. He's won the gold in the clean and jerk. Congratulations to David Sanchez, who sat in the wings for a long time and is rewarded with a bronze. But the title goes to Turkey, to Dania Ismailov, with a total of 341 kilos. That compares with the 345 of this man 2 years ago.
And look at this, he fires it to arm's length, just unable to regain the composure underneath the bar. He's going to look back on this and maybe regret having gone to 188. 185 would have put him on the podium. It was risky business, and it didn't come off. Look at it catch him on the way down as well. Oh, I think he got away with it. I thought it caught his shoulder.
Well, it's the snatch that really did for him. Too much to catch up, and joy from Max Lang at the age of 28, coming down to a new weight category. And this man who's worked at 77 and 81 kilos, now a worthy reward of 3 good clean and jerks. And Andreev deeply upset. But it all went wrong. But in the clean and jerk, look at this, Max Lang for Germany, 3 out of 3. That's why you get the major reward. Brickenkaya, where he gets the silver, but I said his percentages are really, really low. And David Sanchez, who had that poor first start, the 179, slightly rushed, recovering and good enough to get the bronze. Well done to him. And Spain are on the medal roster. And I make that the 17th country as we see the overall championship. Ismailov by 2 kilos from Robu. Kaya, a bit fortunate to get the overall bronze. The champion of 2 years ago, only 4th. David Sanchez in 5th place ahead of Max Lang, and the young son of Georgi Azanidze on an educational learning curve, but much promise in that 327 total, and new personal best for him along the way. Particularly the 148 in the snatch for Azanidze, and the 179, that's also a significant PB. And you get the impression, don't you, Michaela, they didn't expect it, but they've got it.
No, they didn't, but they worked hard, they fought to the end, and I'd say 1 or 2 lifters and coaches, not the lifters, the coaches, I would say, on numerous occasions here, have made the wrong call in terms of weight selection, and it has left their lifters exposed. Bohidze Andreev of Bulgaria, probably the most notable in that respect. But Max Lang capitalising, doing his own thing, sticking to his own guns, and he comes away with a gold on the clean and jerk.
Well, it's the medal of his life. You know, he's never achieved a medal, and he's now got a golden one. How good is that? And I'm delighted for David Sanchez. Max Lang, 28 years of age. David Sanchez, 26 years of age. And he was 4th, David Sanchez, in the European Championships 2 years ago. And he's finished in 5th place today. But the difference is that he's got a, he's got a medal. He's got something to take home, which will remind him that this was the day that he got that all-important, precious senior medal. He's been a good junior, David Sanchez. Silver medals at European junior competitions, so what, 7, 8 years ago. He went to Rio in the 69 kilo category and was a respectable 10th there. And just having a look at this, have we got it right? Yes, Turkey up into 3rd place. Germany with 2 gold medals. Great Britain, thanks to Sarah Davis earlier today, 3 silvers. And I hope we can see the second page. No, we can't, but I can tell you that Spain are on the roster.